All right, this is number 12. It says in the standard XY coordinate plane, so they're just talking about a graph, what is the slope of the line through these 2 points? So first way you could do this is you could say, okay, I'm going to graph this at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 7, positive 3. So this point here, and then 1, 2, and then up 4. Right, so you could plot those 2 points, and I could say, okay, I'm going from 3 to 4, so that's going to be going up 1, and then I'm going over, this would be 7, and then 2 more would be 9, so up 1 over 9. So my correct answer would be J. If you don't like that method, you can also use the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 method. I would have y2, y1, x2, x1. So I would have 4 minus 3 over 2 minus negative 7. And you would have 4 minus 3 is 1 over 2 minus 7. That would turn into a positive sign, 1 over 9. So you could do it that way as well. Either one will work. You can decide which one's faster for you. That's number 12. Number 13 says, a group of 60 students and 4 sponsors took a field trip to a local museum. Right, so 60 students, 4 sponsors. For their first guided tour, students are given a choice of 1 of 3 art exhibits. Of 60 students, half chose modern, a quarter chose American folk, and 1/6 chose Western. So you can see there's 3 different types of art, and different students chose different ones. Each student that expressed a choice chose exactly 1 exhibit. So everybody's going to 1. And the remaining students expressed no choice. So they were like, we don't care. We're not going. How many of the students expressed no choice? So that's what they're asking here. Right? So in order to figure out how many, I want to find out which ones did choose something. So they're asking about students. I don't care about the sponsors, how many there were. I care that there were 60 students. So 60 students. And it says that half chose modern. So I'm going to say, okay, what was half of 60? Half of 60 is 30. So I'm going to say out of the modern, I would say 30. And then it says 1/4 chose American folk. For some of you guys may be like, oh yeah, 15 is 1/4 of 60, right? You might just immediately know that. If you don't know that, you can say, okay, I'm going to do 1/4 times 60. And it says 15. So that's how I know how many people have American folk. And then it says 1/6 chose Western. So for Western, 1/6, I'm going to go ahead to my calculator. 1 divided by 6 times 60 would be 10, which makes sense because 6 times 10 is 60. So I have 10. So 30 chose modern, 100 chose, or 15 chose this many, and 10 chose that one. So this is how many students chose, but then we remember there were some kids who didn't choose anything. So we have 30 plus 15 plus 10. 55 students made a choice. So if 55 students made a choice, how many didn't make a choice? Because we're looking for those. That would be 60 minus 55, or 5 students. That is number 13. For number 14, it says, what is the greatest, so I'm looking for the biggest, integer solution. So integers, remember, means whole numbers. So I'm looking for a whole number. That's why all my answers are whole numbers. And we're looking for a solution. So we're really looking like, what does x equal? So I have 6x minus 2 is less than or equal to 11.2. So I'm going to quickly solve this, adding 2 on both sides. 6x is less than or equal to 13.2. Dividing by 6 on both sides. X is less than or equal to 13.2 divided by 6, 2.2. So I have 2.2. So I know that x is less than or equal to 2. And they want a whole number that's less than or equal to 2.2. So the whole number that's less than that would be 2. That would be the biggest one, the greatest one that's less than there. So I'd say confidently that J is my answer. The other way you could possibly think about doing this is you could plug these numbers in to see which ones work. So let's say they want greatest, so I'd start with my biggest number. So if I plugged in 3 in here, that would be like 6 times 3 is 18 minus 2, and it's supposed to be less than 11.2, and I know 16 minus 2 is 16. I'm sorry, 18 minus 2 is 16, so that's not less than, so 3 doesn't work. If I put 2 in here, I would have 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 minus 2 would give me 10, and 10 is less than 11.2. So if you want to guess and check, you could do that as well. I think it's probably faster to solve the equation for most of you guys, but if you want to guess and check, you can. Just because it's the greatest, start with the biggest possible answer choice rather than starting with H. Cool. Number 15 finally says, Classics Online charges a one-time registration fee of $17.50 and sells classical music downloads for 70 cents per song. So this is like an old thing that we used to do, which is like you could be a part of like the membership program and then you could buy music online per song, kind of like iTunes. So Ian has $50 that he's going to use to pay the registration fee and then buy classical music from Classics Online. So what is the maximum number of songs that he can buy? So if he has $50, he has to pay the registration fee to be a part of it. So we're going to take that money away. So $17.50. So on my calculator, I'm going to do 50 minus $17.50. And he's going to have $32.50 left over. And then it costs 70 cents per song. Right, so since it's per song, I know per always means division. Right, so I want to find out, it doesn't quite cost $1, so I know he's going to get more than 32 songs. So I'm going to do $32.50 divided by 0.7, or 70 if you want. And he can buy 46.42 songs. So 46.42 songs. The problem is he can't really buy like a part of a song, so he can't buy this many. So this would be the total number of songs that he can buy, which is great because that's the only answer that's close. So I can say D and move on. Good job, guys. Keep it up.